Welcome into the Greater Texas Ford Dealers inaugural Female Athlete of the Month. From Texarkana to El Paso, the Panhandle to San Angelo, the Permian Basin to East Texas, Waco, Wichita Falls to Lubbock, and many points in between. We celebrate the remarkable achievements of female high school athletes based on performances on and off the field and courts. From Class 6A to private schools, it's the Greater Texas Ford Dealers Female Athlete of the Month. Joining me now from the Permian Basin and the pride of Greenwood High, the one and only Ashlyn Lang, the Class 4A Greater Texas Ford Dealers Female Athlete of the Month. Well, Ashlyn, congratulations on being the best in Texas. What did you think when you heard that you won this prestigious honor?
I honestly was so surprised. I really didn't even know I was up for it. My coach kind of just told me one day in practice, and I was just shocked. It's a big honor to be recognized by the state. And it's an honor that my coach, put me up for this. So I was just surprised and so happy and thrilled.
Ashlyn, you are such a standout, both in volleyball and in the classroom as well. How do you create and be able to handle the balance of both and being one of the best at your school?
So schoolwork has always come first. I've learned that from my parents. It's always number one. And if I can't perform well in the classroom, then I can't perform well on the court. So schoolwork definitely has priority. And so I've always done pretty well in school. It's always come easy to me, which makes volleyball even easier for me because I don't have to stress about that. Just knowing that I have all my schoolwork taken care of is just an extra push on the court, honestly, just like less stress on the court. I can just have that out of my mind and just focus on what I need to focus on the court.
Well, you're in the top 10% academically at your school, and your school has a lot of whiz kids and a lot of smart kids. I mean, you have to be driven to pull that off, right?
Yes, sir.
How do you do it?
I just, I have all my little tips and tricks with studying and everything. But it's competitive at Greenwood to be in the top 10%. Everyone wants to be in it, and our class sizes get smaller as we go on, so the top 10% gets even more narrow. So just pushing myself to be top 10% and having it in the back of my mind, knowing that like this means something, like I need to be top 10% just so that I can be, first of all, like accepted into colleges and academically first before volleyball. And so yeah, it's just, I'm a competitive person anyway, so anything competitive, I'm there for it, and top 10% is definitely what
well, you definitely have excelled there. There is absolutely no doubt about that. I know you started playing volleyball at a very young age. What was it about the sport that you fell in love with?
Well, I really just started playing with all of my friends. And then we've continued to play together all the way up to senior year. And I love the sport. I've tried other sports and clearly didn't stick with that. But volleyball, there's something about being on the court and with all my teammates, and it's so fun to me. It doesn't really feel like work. It's just something that is a huge privilege that I get to do, and I'm grateful for it.
Well, you've been one of the best players in the state, no doubt, if not the nation. As you look at your team, you're the team captain. How much do you enjoy leading this great crew?
My team is like a family. We are so tight this year, which makes leading them so fun. Whether it's like in the summer or in season, it's just sometimes we all need a little extra push, and I'm happy that I get to be the one to push, but also lead by example. And it's just an honor that I was noticed and chosen to be a leader, and I'm glad that it shows that I am the leader.
Tell us about some of the stars on the team and some of the great personalities that you enjoy playing volleyball with.
So we definitely have a lot of talent on this team. So we have some great outside hitters. Kaylee McDonald, she's a junior, and Miley King, she's a sophomore. They're both amazing hitters, and they bring so much energy to the team. We also have amazing setters. We have a senior, Madison Willis. I played with her since first grade. We've been together for forever. And then a new face in the setter position, Emily Jones. She's a freshman this year, and she just came in and connected with all of us like I've never seen before. She's amazing. We also have a new middle on the varsity team this year, McKenna Skelton. She's done an amazing job stepping up. Our libero is the same as last year, Presley Watzel. She's a senior. We've also played with her since the beginning. We also have a couple of juniors, Brinkley Smith and McKinley Carroll. They have stepped up, and just their energy just carries us. McKinley she has an energy that I've never seen before. So yeah, and another senior, another defensive specialist, Caitlin Summers, she again is another one that has energy like no other. So I think all of our different personalities and energy together is just what makes us such a great team. And we just all clicked and bonded really easily.
When you lead as team captain, do you lead more with your words or by your actions?
I try to do both. Sometimes I get a little too overly competitive and can say some things that I don't actually need to say, but whenever I'm having a bad game, I have to make sure that if I'm not leading by example, I at least need to step up and lead with words. And like yesterday is a perfect example. I didn't have a great game yesterday, and that's okay, but I was still there for my team, making sure that pushing them to be their best, even whenever I'm down. So I try to find a balance in both.
How do you think the Permian Basin stacks up with the rest of the state? Because I think that we hear so much about Houston, Austin, San Antonio, and the Dallas area. We don't hear enough about the schools that you go up against night in and night out there.
Yes. So the Permian Basin has a lot of overlooked talent. In our district is so competitive. We all are pretty evenly, like the talent's pretty evenly distributed. And some of the people that we play in our district, I've played with on club teams in the past, and we just know that like every game is not given. The talent shows up out of nowhere, and I think it's definitely overlooked. Like there's some amazing athletes in the Permian Basin.
I look at your stats, and statistically speaking, you stand out as one of the best in the state. I mean, right now, 315 kills, 129 blocks. When you look at the stat sheet, what are you looking at to say to yourself, hey, this was a good performance by me?
I love to see a lot of kills on the stat sheet. I'm definitely one who likes to hit more than block, but I have little personal goals for myself every game, depending on who we're playing. And that comes with kills and blocks, but also, I'm in the back row some of the time. So I'm also looking for digs and aces, and, seeing high numbers all the way around is reassuring to me. I don't want to be just good in one spot. I want to be good everywhere that I need to be. I like to see an all around good combination.
Well, it's definitely working. There's no doubt about that. And I know in the off season, in the summer program, you're the leader of that whole strength and conditioning program. Your work ethic is unmatched, for anybody in that region. Why is that so important? And do you find that off season stuff is really paying off now?
It definitely is paying off. I know out of everybody that hard work it shows, and even if it doesn't show right away, that in the future you're going to see it. And taking things seriously and working out in the summer off season may seem like a joke, but it's not. Like that's the time where we get better. And this year we have a new girls athletic coordinator, and she came in with just a fire and lit our whole program up really. And so we all just bought into it, and we had a strength and conditioning like we have never had before. It was different, but it was, everybody's energy was always there 100% of the time. And I was kind of behind that. Early mornings are not my friend, but just showing up with a smile on my face every morning and, ready to work. It's definitely showing now. that were in season, how much everybody bought in off season. So it's definitely great.
So I know you're very active with young kids. You like to be a mentor in the PALS program, the Legacy program as well. Why do you enjoy that so much?
Honestly, just whenever you walk into that classroom and see their face light up, it's so rewarding. They think that the PALS program, like whoever their pal is, they think they are the coolest person on this entire planet. And it it feels good, honestly. It feels good. And so just mentoring them, I get to help them with their schoolwork, and sometimes I just get to play with them on the playground. It's just honestly, it's fun for me, just as fun as it is for them. And in the Legacy program, I actually get to go help kids with PE, which I think is so fun. And they look forward to it every day just as much as I do. So it's just like, honestly, it brings out my inner child too, just helping all of them and seeing their faces light up. So yeah.
I know they get excited when a big celebrity like you walks in. You know, you are the 2022 best hitter in the district. There's no doubt about that. And I know you're gonna have a lot of choices with colleges. A lot of people are looking at you right now, and you're even throwing around the idea of maybe walking on at Texas A&M. Tell me about the dynamics of how you're looking at your next step.
So for a while, I have not been sure if I want to play in college or not. And now that the school season's almost coming to an end, I don't think I'm ready to give it up. So I've been kind of throwing around some ideas, D2, D3 schools, but I've just I've always wanted to go to Texas A&M just to be a student there. And so I've lately been thinking about like, hey, why can't I go walk on? Like, I mean, it's going to be hard, but hey, I might as well send an email just to kind of see what happens. So I sent an email, and we're just going to see what happens. And if not, then I'll maybe go to a D2, D3, wherever I get taken.
You've always been one that always proves people wrong, right? In
Yes.
that particular situation, I think Texas A&M is going to be like, this is a Christmas gift to get somebody of your talent just to show up and walk on. We've seen it in so many different sports where kids come in and do that. And the fact that you could be a star in the SEC, one of the best volleyball conferences in America, how much do you enjoy that whole kind of proving people wrong and having that chip on your shoulder, that so many people in the Permian Basin do?
I mean, that's my biggest, like, that's what really motivates me is like, whenever someone tells me I can't do something, just shut my mouth and work hard and do it. And that's the biggest, revenge you can give someone really. And, having big dreams, like going and playing in the SEC, like people doubting me, but why not me? Because I know that I'm good enough, and I've proven that I'm good enough, and I'll continue to work to get better. So I see doubt as a motivator really, and just more of a push for me to do better.
That's a great line about that. Well, I know you come from a family of athletes, and one that really jumps out at me is your father, who was a world-class soccer player. He played all over the world, from Tulsa to South Florida at St. Thomas University down there in South Florida, in Denmark, Argentina, and Sweden. Did you get your athletic prowess from your dad?
I'm gonna say so. Yep. Sorry to my mom, but yes, I think I definitely get my motivation and my grit from him. My competitiveness, everything about sports is really from him. He's definitely the one who pushes me, and sometimes a little too hard, but he's definitely the one that pushes me to get better and makes me work to get what I want.
What have you learned the most about athletic competition from him?
Well, nothing gets handed to you. You always got to work for it. And he's always taught me that to win, you have to be the one that outworks and who is also mentally stronger. Really, that's all volleyball is a mental game. And so I've learned from him that being the mentally more prepared one is who's going to come out on top and win the game. So he's definitely taught me how to be stronger mentally on the court.
Now, your mom, she wore the Greenwood jersey there on the basketball court at your school. How cool is it to continue the family legacy at that school through generations here?
I think it's really cool. I think, she played basketball for I don't know how many years at Greenwood. And now that I get to play volleyball, like everyone knows Greenwood's a small school, or smaller school. And a lot of the people that play at Greenwood, their parents have played before them. And it really is just a legacy there. I think it's really cool that we get to share the same school, and she's still here. So I think it's really cool.
Your dad was telling me how volleyball has basically consumed your family's lives with all the travel and all the tournaments. I mean, you've been at the Chicago Nationals, Las Vegas. How about all these cool places that volleyball has taken you from the Permian Basin?
Volleyball's definitely opened up a lot of opportunities for me. And I've gotten to see so many things, from the huge tournaments in Vegas. That was my first time ever being to Vegas, and I saw a lot of things in Vegas. And then Chicago was so cool at Nationals. Our team had a lot of success. Our club team had a lot of success. And so whenever we got to travel to these big tournaments, it was really just like a celebration of us pretty much. And just we walked around all together and saw all the things that we got to see. And it's just been so eye-opening to how big this world really is. And it's crazy that volleyball's been what takes me to these places, but I think it's so cool.
How about the sacrifices your parents have made to be there for you and drive you everywhere? I mean, they've basically been like your taxi service.
Definitely. From practices 2 nights a week to, going all the way to Dallas and Amarillo and Vegas and Chicago, all the crazy places. I'm so grateful and thankful for them for giving up as much as they've had to, and their time and money and all that stuff. It's great.
Now, your brother, he's at Texas Tech, and I know your family is a bunch of big Red Raider fans. How much have you learned from him as far as him being a mentor to you, and how you kind of navigate through all this?
So Cameron, he graduated last year from Greenwood, so we've been really close all of our whole lives. He played football, and he's faced a ton of adversity playing sports. And so I think just learning how to get through stuff and how to handle stuff mentally from him, and physically too, he's just been really a role model to learn from, because he's pushed through and gotten back on the field or whatever it is. He's really good at facing adversity, and that's what I've learned from him.
Now, the word is you have a smart mouth, and you got that from your dad. Do you enjoy giving people a hard time?
I do. And that's one of the things on the volleyball court that I find really funny. I like messing with people, and it just keeps the energy light, and it's just how I roll, I guess. I don't know.
Well, you're nearly 6 feet. I got to imagine the Greenwood basketball coach has been trying to recruit you for years now, if not since you were a little tiny girl. Why not basketball and just all volleyball? Whatever made that decision? Because you're such a good athlete, it seems to me like you could play anything.
So I used to play basketball. I stopped in middle school, and that's whenever I kind of just went strictly volleyball. I'm not as coordinated on a basketball court as I am on a volleyball court. If you see me try and shoot a basketball, I'm not that good at it. So basketball's not my thing, but I like volleyball a lot more than basketball.
What's your message to kids in that community that want to be like you and be a big star?
Keep your head down and work. It's gonna be hard, and it's gonna take a lot of time and a lot of effort, but if you want something bad enough, then you can work for it and get it.
Well, Ashlyn, congratulations on being our Class 4A Greater Texas Ford Dealers Female Athlete of the Month. Thank you so much for letting us celebrate you, and continued success.
Thank you so much.
Your Greater Texas Ford Dealers is so proud to recognize the hard work, dedication, perseverance, and passion of so many Texas high school female athletes who inspire us all. Here's this month's winners. And don't forget, you can see their interviews at Greater TX Ford for Greater Texas Ford dealers. From Class 1A to 6A, plus private schools, we celebrate them all. Thanks so much for watching the Greater Texas Ford Dealers inaugural Female Athlete of the Month. See you next time.